Hello, hello everyone. Good morning. Happy weekend. It feels so weird. So just so you guys are in the know, today is Saturday and usually I'm getting ready for our weekly sale. But since we switched the days, I got up this morning and I was like all full of energy and yeah, it's like, okay, what do I do now? It's a day off. Not really sure what to do with myself with the day off. So guess what? We are going to craft, which, I don't get a lot of opportunity to just craft for the sake of crafting anymore. So I'm excited. Guess what we're going to make today? We're going to be making some snarky fairies. That's right. Fairies, but snarky with a little bit of spice and zizzle. How's that on them? So let me go ahead and kind of brief you as to how this is going to work, what I'm going to be using in case you want to grab your materials really quick. Just pause, go grab them, and then come back. By the way, welcome. Hi, everyone. My name is Maddie Azar. You are at spectrumartcreations.com. And today we're working on these great fairies. So we sold some of these stickers. Actually, I think they're all sold out now, but we do have different fairies. So fear not. If you can't, if you don't find these exact ones, just go to our Etsy store. Not the .com. I don't think they're in the .com. I think they're in the Etsy store, which is by the same name, Spectrum Art Creations, in Etsy. Anyway, we sold these super fun fairies. There's a ton of them, but some of these had those faces. Do you see their faces? And I thought, oh my goodness, you could just see a snarky, thought happening. So I thought, oh, great, let's go ahead and create some snarky sentiments or phrases to go with them. So again, there's a ton more down here. Like, seriously, it's a tonnage of fairies. They're so stinking cute. So this is where it all started. And then we thought, oh my gosh, we should definitely be making some snarky fairies. And everyone in the Facebook group helped out and got some great ideas for phrases and thoughts that we could give these fairies. And so I turned that into a digital. So by the way, if you are a SACs Academy VIP, SACs stands for Spectrum Art Creation. So SACS, SACs Academy. VIP member, this digital is yours for free. So you just have to send me an email and let me know, hey, Maddie, send me the free digital for the snarky fairies. Of course, for everybody else, this digital will be available in the online store for just a couple of bucks, if that. Just, so that we can all create together and use them, because again, they'll work with these and so much more. They're not all fairy specific, but a lot of them are. So let me kind of show you some of them. I've already cut mine up. This is only part of it, but these are the ones that I figure I'm going to use. These are the ones that I figure I'll hold off on using this like later. So super funny, but they're all very, very snarky. Okay, so we need some fairies. We need some of the snarky fairy sentiments. We are going to obviously use the digital. So again, get yours in the online store and print it out. They're all different fonts too. I didn't give them any background color because I figure if you guys want to spritz them with pinks, blues, your inks, whatever color you want to give them, you most certainly can't tint them, but I gave them to you neutral. And I didn't do them all in black because I figured that sometimes is that you use a lot of ink. The next one I'm doing, I think I'm going to do with black, but not this one. Okay. Anyway, let's move forward. We're going to need some stamps, some kind of mixed media stamps. So I got some of our stitched borders. I got some also indigo blue from the store so that I could play with some of these super fun mixed media ones, some squares, some circles, some letters, some numbers. Okay. So again, these are all also available. Everything you see is available in the online store. So, but if you have questions, just leave me a comment. Happy to provide you with links if you need them. We're going to need a black ink to stamp, or brown could work. So if you've got either this or a brown one, either one. I'm going to be using the Stamperia white crackle paste. Will it work? I'm not sure. At first, I was just going to use my Dina Wakley white paint, so you could just use that. But then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to create some kind of a white space, because we are going to leave some white space, but I want to create some more. I thought, why not crackle it while we're at it? That's fun. And when you do the white crackle, you can also heat set it. So that's one of the reasons why I love the Stamperia um, crackles the best. We have them in clear, we have them in white. And yes, the rubber bands we also have in store. Those are those rubber bands that help to maintain your product's freshness. And I do have some, what's it called? Cling wrap? Yeah, on there as well. So this is how I used to store it, but now we've got the rubber bands. And so definitely use those to keep your products, in good use. Because there's nothing worse than going to use your product and it's dried out and you just threw away your money, right? So yes, we have these in both the small to medium and the medium to large. We have them in both sizes. So if you've got bigger jugs or even smaller ones, you can still use those. Okay, you're going to need a palette knife to scrape your crackle paste or your paint. You can use white acrylic paint if you want. You're going to need a water brush or just a brush and a cup of water. I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. You could also use your crayons if you've got your watercolor crayons. Again, all of this is available in store. These are all of the sets. I think I have them all. I'll hold them up so in case you guys want to know what colors are in them. Set 1, but again, these are all available in the online store. Set 2. You can pause at any time. Set 3. So if you want to read the names and I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video. Don't forget. Set 4. 5. And 6. I think that's all of them. All right. So there are the watercolor pencils, and then we're going to need some papers, obviously. Oh, a glass mat or some kind of protective surface. I'm going to be using my glass mat. And then this is where it all starts. So we're going to be making ATCs. Of course, this technique translates into a page, a tag, a pocket, a cover, anything you want, because it's all the same idea, same concept. Rolodex, index cards, all of that. So the first thing I grabbed when I started thinking about how I'm going to do this. Again, I haven't even done a prototype, guys. It's just a thought in my head. So we'll see how it turns out. If it's great, wonderful. And if it's not so great, we'll learn along the way. So this is a one-take deal. How's that? So here I've got some of Madison's backgrounds. So Madison is my daughter. Most of you already know her, but if you don't, you're new to the channel. Madison is my autistic daughter, and she loves to make backgrounds. She is really good at making awesome backgrounds. And then of course some mop-up pages that she's made as well. And so I started with that, right? ATCs are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So the size of a playing card. So when you think of a standard playing card, or you think of a standard baseball card, or trading cards, like, I don't know, do they have football cards, Pokemon cards, your trading cards. So they're 2.5 by 3.5. So that's what we're going to be making today. So I've got some of her backgrounds. Then I had some of the backgrounds that she had already cut from other decorative papers. So if you don't have painty papers, I'm pretty sure we all do, because we always, have plenty of them. And then we're like, what do we do with these? Gel prints, all that stuff. But if you don't, just use your decorative paper. That's fine. And then I'm going to use a black base for the actual final base for the ATC. Okay, so let's get started. Are we ready now that we know what we're using? And hopefully, again, you can pause, grab your stuff, and then hit play when you are ready to resume, okay? All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with our base. So I'm going to bring in a paper trimmer. Oh, yeah, forgot. We're going to need a paper trimmer. And we're going to cut one of the backgrounds. Oh, this one's so pretty. I don't know what she got in there, but it's got some gold. I don't know if you guys can see it. Little flecks on there. I might save that for something else. These are index cards. I can see the lines, and she's just mopped up with those. And then all of these are great. So any of these will work. How about if we use, tough choices. How about this one? So we're going to cut this down. This is the Works from We Are Memory Keepers is the all-in-one station. I've covered this in many other classes and videos, but if you have questions on it, feel free to leave them below. So we're going to cut this at 2.5. Again, I can get 2 out of that by 3.5. All right. Then from our decorative papers, remember, we've got some other colors, right? And all I've done to create, I'm going to show you, I've already gotten started. I've got a bunch of the black bases. So those are 2.5 by 3.5. So cut yourself some blacks. It depends how many ATCs you want to make. You might want to make just 2 or 3. You might want to make, I don't know, a whole bucket full like I do. And the cool thing is, even if you don't use all of these, which I probably won't make 20, 30 fairies, I might, but if I don't, my backgrounds will be ready. So I'll save them. And the next time I just want to pop something on here, my backgrounds are done. So we can do these assembly style. So to make these right here, all I've done is I've grabbed her background. See, that one's got some of those gold flecks in there. I don't know if you can see them on screen. I've grabbed her backgrounds and then I've added some torn papers. That's all this is. That's stage 1. Madison's beautiful papers. You can see actually the back, see? Those are her color papers. And then I've mounted some other pages. Oh, here's another, left this one. So cool, huh? All right, so we've got now the painty paper base. We've got our decorative papers. And again, this is great for scraps. So if you've got a bunch of like little scraps that you have from your papers, then awesome. Let's use them. Oh, you know what? I'm going to move this off screen first, so I'm not killing you with glare. We'll need it later, so we'll bring it back. And all that I've done is I have grabbed the papers and torn, see, like this. So you simply grab and you tear. And what I did was I tore a bunch of them. So I go from high to low, and then from low to high, and then high to low, and low to high. So just cutting by hand. There's no like real reason as to like, oh, I'm trying to achieve a certain look. I'm not. And then in the corners, you want to cut from the corner. And then you just do this with a bunch of them. Again, from the corner. Then from low to high. From high to low. From low to the corner. We're going to go all the way to the corner. And you just do that with a bunch of these or whatever scraps you have. And those are going to be the pieces. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go like that on that one. You could sit while we're doing this together and do a bunch of backgrounds at the same time. You can even use your papers to do, like I said, a bunch of index cards and tags and whatnot. Sorry about that. Sorry. Some motorcycle just went by. And then all you do is you just kind of play with them. You grab them and you set them down and you decide what colors you like. So again, I use my straight edges there, and then I'll look for a straight edge for the bottom. Which one? Where is my text one? Oh, here we go. That might be too much brown though. I might not like that. This one's not orientation specific. And so I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to go kind of like zigzagging, right? Maybe, but maybe not. And then you can retrim them if you like something different. I should have cut more colors, but that's okay. That's okay. I want a purple one. I'm going to put that one on top. Actually, I'm going to trim this one down some more, and I can save that piece for something else. Okay, then we've got our first ATC. See how cool it's starting to look? Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm using Spectrum Art Creations glue. So this is the brush bottle top. I know, shame on me. It doesn't even have a label, but you know what? It's because it's a prototype. Let me get rid of these because I'm only going to make one together with you guys. You of course can sit down and make a ton of these because they're fun. Once they're all tore up, they're super easy to make. So again, using our Spectrum Art Creations glue, we're going to bring that in. Spectrum Art Creations is not only good for decoupaging, it's a perfect decoupaging adhesive. It's good for adhering anything, obviously, but it dries clear and matte, and it can also be heat set. So you can use your heated tool to dry it. So super, super great to use. And by the way, it's also a matte medium. So if you have some stickers that have some shine or something that's kind of shiny and you're like, oh, I don't want that glossiness on them. Well, guess what? You can use your Spectrum Art Creations glue as well to remove that shine. It dries beautifully, and as you can see, it does not pucker or warp. So it's great for... Sorry, we have a dog barking here. Let me go ahead and take care of that, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. We have a lot of outdoor activities happening right now. Obviously, it is Easter weekend as I'm recording this, and there are people out on motorcycles. There are, you know, people out on boats. So there's a lot of movement, and the dog is like, nope, not happy. But that's okay. That's her job. She's doing her job, right? She's taking care of us. All right. And then this one here on the bottom. So this is something that you can even sit down and just as you're watching videos or hanging out, you can sit here and be making a bunch of these and have them ready to go for future projects, future pockets, future tags. All right, there we go. Super cool. Now, as with any mixed media, you have got to be willing to sacrifice the background. I know some of you are going, oh, but that area was so cool down there. Yes, it was. But you know what? It's the way it is. I'm going to heat set this really quick. That's it. Takes seconds. And then we're going to bring back our paper trimmer. And we're going to trim this down. Remember, the base, our base is 2.5 by 3.5. And even though we did cut this to 2.5 and 3 by 3.5, we're going to want an edge. So I'm going to just trim off, a little bit from each side. This also, of course, gets rid of any unevenness that you might have. So I'm going to take it down. What do we think? 2.25? That's a big border. How about 2 3/8? We'll see. And if we need to trim more, we'll trim more. And therefore, we're going to take this down to 3 3/8 as well. All right. We'll put it on our black cardstock and see if we like it or if we're going to need more of a border. I like it. I think I could have used a little bit more black border, but you know what? For the sake of moving on, let's move on. So if you want more of the black showing, then obviously you're going to trim it down to maybe 2.25 by 3.25. So we've got our first base. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we're going to bring back our glass mat or your protective mat, whatever you're using. I'm using the Studio Light magnetic glass mat. So it's magnetized. Let me turn this light off, guys. I'm sorry. It's going to irk me if I keep blinding you. And let me turn on the side lights and see if that helps. Yeah, that's a little better, right? At least it's not like a circle, pan in the middle. I don't have that big old halo. Um, so now what we're going to do is we're not going to mount this on the base until the end, okay? Because we're going to get all kinds of messy goodness going on here and happening. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and do, let's do a little bit of stamping. Yes, I think so. Let's do some stamping. So again, I've grabbed some mixed media stamps. We're not going to do the edges yet. I'm going to just grab some of these. Let me grab a scratched piece of paper. If you tend to be heavy-handed, again, we have amazing indigo blue stamps in the online store, so check those out. If you tend to be heavy-handed, or it's a new stamp like this and you want to prime it, yes, you can bring in a stamping platform. So for example, this is my We Are Memory Keepers, and I love it because I've mentioned this to you guys before. If you've never seen this, it does come with the base, so you can stamp over and over in the same place, but I love using it like this because it allows me to move it around until I'm ready to stamp, and then I press down and that's when it stamps, right? Because it's got these little pegs there that allow you to move it around. So if you want to use a stamping platform, great. If you don't, which I probably won't, I'm going to freehand it. I'm going to stamp off. First of all, I'm upside down. Yeah, you know what? Let me mark this now because I can see myself doing this. I can see myself doing this the wrong way easily. So that's kind of the look I'm going for. I'm not going for this. This is way too much color. So I'm kind of just getting a feel for it. And then I'm going to come in and just stamp randomly. And I'm actually going to turn this and I'm going to go in the other direction. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to grab about some little dots. And this is a glass mat, so you don't have to worry about it. It's easy cleanup. Again, it's a new stamp, so I'm going to prime it and try it out first. Kind of get the feel for it. And then we're going to come in and add some dots here and there. And that's about all. That's all that I want to do, guys. I don't want to do too much. I might come back in with more because remember, next we're going to do our crackle. So let's get our crackle on. These are so fast and easy to make. As you can see, it doesn't take a whole lot. Even, oh, look, see, this is why you need rubber bands. You see what happened? The product that was at the top, on the inside of my lid, look how it would have been wasted. My whole can would have been kaput. Let me clean that off real quick. This is why we take care of our product. And again, we have it in clear as well, but today we're going to use the white. I'm thinking we're going to try and get some light crackling and white space at the same time. Just kind of mixing it off screen, but that's all I'm doing so you guys know. I'm going to grab some of that, and then we're going to come in and just gently scrape and create some white space on here. So what you want to do is you want to use usually we use our palette knife very flat. In this case, I am going flat, yes, but then I'm also scraping off just a little bit off just to create that really coolness. And I love how it's settling into some of the cracks. So we want to create something like this. Now here, now it's already dried, so it might be too late. So again, we're just going to make a few of these. And then, oh, this one's better, see? I guess the other one I hadn't loaded my palette knife right. I'm going for something like this, a very thin skin. Again, we have to be willing to sacrifice some of that background because that's the name of the game. Now, when this crackles, it's going to be a plus. Really, I was just going for the white space. And then we're going to do something with that white space. So don't be afraid if you're thinking, whoa, that's a lot. No, no, we're going to come back and do something else. And now this, remember, is going to sit behind the fairies. So it gives them a really nice focal point. It makes them super, super beautiful for them to stand out. In some areas, I'm applying it a little bit thicker. In some areas, I'm scraping it a little bit more. It's going to create two different types of cracks. It's going to create thin cracks and some deeper cracks. Of course, the deeper you go, the more product you put on, the more crackling you're going to get. Okay, we're just going to do a few, and then I'm going to put this away because you guys are not going to sit here and watch me do 50 of these, obviously. I'll come back to it. Okay, perfect. Close that back up. And I've had this bottle for well over a year, so it just goes to show you that when you take care of your product, it pays off in the long run. Now, you see why I said we're not going to mount this on the bases? Any of this that's excess, you can even clean it now. Here on the edges, if it's too messy, just clean it up. And which was our first one? I don't remember anymore. Was it this one? I guess we could start with that one. The rest, and again, you can do this assembly style, so you don't even have to sit here and wait or dry them. You could just move on. And it's such a thin layer that it doesn't take very long at all. But let's go ahead and dry this one really quick. I'm going to heat from both sides to prevent warping. But it doesn't really matter because remember, we're going to adhere this onto and you can see the crackling happening already. Look how cool that is. Oh, how cool and yummy is that, right? Again, thin layers dry very quickly. I'll heat set this bottom one so it finished crackling, and then we're ready to go. But what I would do definitely is just set them all to the side. You know, you've got your spatula out, you've got your paste out, you're making a little bit of a mess, so might as well go all the way. I don't want that one, didn't I? Okay. Look at how nice that is looking. All right, we're going to leave these out because I'm going to continue to do assembly style the rest of them after. And now what we want to do is we want to bring in our water brush and our pencils. And you can decide, I mean, I haven't decided like a specific fairy is going to go in a specific place. Let's say this one's going to go here. They're all going to look awesome because it's such a great collage background that it doesn't matter. See what fairy I put on here? They're all going to work. I don't need to worry about coordinating colors for the most part. Oh, that orange one is so cool. And I don't even like orange, but it just stands out so well. Where's that first one we started? Oh, I almost like the lollipop kit too. No, I like that first one. That one was funny. Oh, and again, I like that orange. Maybe we can make that orange pop on the back. There you go. How about that one? That's fun. Now, if you know which fairy you're using or what image you're using, it is quite simple to simply pick your color. And again, honestly, I'm going to do mine all assembly style. So I'm not going to match fairy to a paper. I'm just going to go ahead and use whatever I feel like using and then let it happen. So in this case, how about if we do these two? Right now, they were right next to each other. Oh, or this one. They're both cool. I am going to get my water brush primed by squeezing it and allowing the water to run onto my brush, and then stop moving. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and lightly color some of these areas. Pick up my, we need to go a little bit more intense. I don't think I went intense enough. Let me start the, no, I need more, a little bit more intensity than that. Let me go more heavy-handed. And we're going to run those colors through and in. And this is what I meant, that we're not going to leave it all just white. There is going to be some color to this as well. And the beauty of doing this in layers is you can come in and add as much intensity as you feel that is needed. Again, your mediums might be different. This would be fun to do with magicals too. Oh, I just got new magicals, the new magical sets that just arrived. I could have done that. Those would have been fun too. I want some more green. Some more green over here. And just fun, right? To run those colors through and in and even blend them some. So we've added some additional color back. Still, we have our white space, right? We haven't detracted from that. I'll darken that corner. I am going to come in with some distress inks, but we've got some color put back into our cute little background. Look how adorable it's starting to look. Now, I covered up a lot of the stamping, so I think I'm going to come back in. And again, when you're doing these assembly style, do your, and then just toss them to the side and move on to the next one. I am simply going to dry because we're working on one, at least from beginning to end, so you guys can see it all the way through. Okay, now we're going to come back in with some stamping. So in retrospect, I might have done, no, it's not a bad thing to do some layering. So I like the fact that I can see some of the text in the back. I can see a little bit of the polka dots. Let me bring in the little squares. Now let me bring in the numbers. And I'm going to stamp this one on top. I wish I had my color inks handy. I don't have them. I think I might grab my other hybrid inks from Graphic 45 for this. I'm upside down again. There we go. I do want a little something there. There we go. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. I'm loving that. With that said and done, let's grab some. Let's grab a. And I think I want to do double color on this one. Just grab a brown. Any brown will do. I've grabbed Gathered Twigs. And so I'm going to come in. Oopsie. I'm going to come in and do first my brown to create some shading on the sides. What did I have here? So I'm going to come in with my brown first. Create that focal point again, right? We're coming from dark to light in the center. So we have kind of like a spotlight on our fairy. And then to blend into my black border, I'm going to just do a little bit of edging with the black. So it's a really nice transition for the eye. All right. And now all we need to do is glue this onto our background, choose our fairy, and choose our sentiment. How fun and easy was that? Let's go. Where's my SACs glue? Oh, there it is. Of course, when it comes to the spectrum arcation glue, this is the brush top bottle, which I love because guess what? I don't have to clean a brush or anything. It's always ready to go. Excellent for traveling as well. But we do also have the wide mouth bottle, and that one's really good for when you want to dip in those big, like Tim Holtz collage brushes, because you're doing a bigger area. And we also have the refill bottle, which is the 1 pounder big bottle, which you can use to refill any of those. Not to mention that in my precision glue press, my Petunia gun, I also use Spectrum Art Creations adhesive. So don't forget to use it for that as well. And that's why the 1 pounder is also a good thing to have. And it allows you to reposition for a few seconds. After that, yes, it's going to stick on. And oh, what's this? I've got something left in there. Let's take care of it. I didn't hear that one very well, that corner. There we go. How fun is this, right? So easy, perfect for like a lazy afternoon or a late morning, and you're like, you know. And we said this one, right? This little girl's gonna go right there. Let me remove this now because we don't need it. I'll come back and finish the rest after. Okay, and then we need a sentiment. What sentiment shall we give her? She looks quite feisty. Do you see that face? She's just got that face on her. Like, I don't want to be here. Whose idea was this? I don't want to be here. All right, let's see. We've got quite a few that I've cut out. I'm so sorry. Because they're just so funny. Oh my goodness. Let's see. This girl's got a wand. I think they all have a wand. Do they? I think so. Or like lollipops. They're hysterical. Okay, I'm just gonna pick one because you know what? If I don't, we're gonna be here all day. They're all fun, so there, how's that? If karma does not slap you in the face, my wand will. How mean is that? That is so mean. All right, these are adhesive, so we're going to peel that backing. And this is where the struggle gets real for me because, you know, me and my fingers. But that wasn't too bad. And I'm going to want her to the side. Yeah. Oh, which side? See? Oh, you got to sacrifice the background, and that's always tough. I love both. This side, this side. Okay, Maddie, just do it. We'll go here on this side. We could have used dimensional foam as well on her. And do you see how nice? We don't even have to worry about the white border because the white is balanced with the white space we've created, right? If karma does not. So mean. That is just so mean, Maddie. Let's do if karma. Oh, I stuck to my finger. Does not slap you in the. And again, this is where this comes handy. You can see just how many words you want per sentence. Let's not slap you in the face. Like that. I want it to be really wonky. I want to put it. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. And then of course all that is left is we're going to ink these up. And then we're going to do our border, our edging. It's so mean. They look so innocent, right? They're just cute little fairies, little kids. Come on. And then they just cut these faces on them. And it's even funnier when you just put a really funny, snarky comment on them. I hope you guys are crafting along because these are super fun and easy to do. And I know they look really nice as far as the mixed media is concerned, but super easy. So again, in my precision glue press, I've got Spectrum Art Creations glue. And that is a lot better price point than, oh, I left it open overnight, than some of the other choices. Works magnificently for so many reasons, for so many purposes. So it's a very versatile adhesive. Oh, did I not unclog it? All I'm doing is taking a pin and pushing it in there. I left it uncapped overnight. In all fairness, I don't even know where the cap went, so I hardly ever cap mine anymore. If karma. I think the next one I might do some dimensional on it. I think it'd be cool to have them dimensional as well. I have the light off. Oh, why did I turn the light back on? I was going to say, I can't see. I was just thinking, golly, I can't see. I have the light off. But then I remember I took away the glass mat, so we're good to turn the light back on. That wing might need a little bit more adhesive. It seems to want to keep lifting. And I pulled off my sentiment. I might have to come back and add some Spectrum Art Creations art glue to my stickers as well. Maybe. See. We shall see. All right, and then we're going to do some faux stitching. How are we going to do that? By using a stamp. Upside down, Maddie. All right. There we go. There's our first one. Now, stitching, stitching, stitching. So we have many different types of stitching, faux stitching stamps. Ranging from Tim Holtz to many more. Uh-oh, I'm missing one. I wonder where it went. Who knows? I'm going to use this one. I'm sure it's stuck to a stamping platform somewhere. I'm sure of it. And for this is where this comes in really handy because again, I will be able to position my stitch exactly where I want it. You know what? I'm just going to put this underneath for now. Why am I crafting myself into a corner? Why? Why? Don't we all do that? Ah, we always do that, don't we, guys? We craft ourselves into a corner. Now, see, I can see exactly where I want this and even move it around before I commit. That looks good. Further out, maybe? How about there? Perfect. Look at that stitching. See? Perfect. I can mix and match, but you know what? Again, for the sake of not making this video super long, I'm just going to move on. And I'll put my head on camera. Perfect. Look how cool that looks. And then we're going to do the bottom. So I'm going to use this side right here, actually. This bottom bit to do this side. Now I'm going to flip that loose string to the outside. Gorgeous. And then I think I want these little fibers right here to kind of be in that area. So I'm going to ink up and purposely position those right about there. And guess what? Voila! We are done with our gorgeous mixed media background. Snarky Fairy, who is ready to slap us in the face with a wand, apparently. She's so cute. She can get away with it, right? All right, folks. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope this has given you an idea on how to create some super fun mixed media backgrounds, ATCs or otherwise, tags, journaling cards, index cards, you name it, all in a matter of just a few minutes. And you can do a bunch of these assembly style using your scraps. More importantly, I hope that you will join us in our Facebook group, by the way, which is Spectrum Art Creation Friends. Don't forget the word friends here at the end, because we have all kinds of super fun challenges always happening every month. And we hope that you'll come and join us and partake in those. I will see you on this next video, which I'm going to leave a link here too in the back. And then you just click on that. It'll take you to the next video for some further inspiration and ideas. If you are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed it. And for those of you, of course, who are returning, always thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.